want to get off your chest?
I mean, we got a lot of things worked out yesterday. And we'll continue to try to get some things worked out. It was disappointing. I think as the players, coaches, I think the whole program was disappointed with what happened. And you can only dwell on that for so long because you got to play games this week as well. So we got to get over it. We got to learn from it and get ready to play on Thursday.
Did you have some hesitation last week when you were up here about the Valpo game? Because you said the team still had some things to work on. Did you see some of that in that Saturday game that you were afraid to see? Or?
Yeah, no, I thought, all week we talked about us rebounding the ball. And that was a big concern of ours, and it showed to be true. I think that is probably what's disappointing from a coaching standpoint is that you feel like there's something that you got to get better at, and you have 3 or 4 practices, and heading into the game, you're not sure that you did a good job of getting your team better at that goal. I think that was my hesitation. That and our energy level were the 2 things that we talked about last week at this press conference. And unfortunately, a week of practice, and we weren't able to get that fixed. So I think that's what gave me the most. That's probably what is so frustrating for me, is to not be able to figure out a way to get that fixed before a game on Saturday. And again, we'll certainly try different things this week to make sure that we get a better effort.
Playing Milwaukee first, doesn't it matter? You have them Thursday and then Green Bay Saturday.
No, they're both 2 very good teams. I don't know. John would have to go back in the archives to find the last time that we beat either one of them. I know I've never beat either of them. I don't know that our teams ever beat either one of them. So, I mean, it's a difficult task with both of them coming in. And, it's our conference. That's what it's going to be. We could have this conversation every Monday, that this week's going to be a tough week for us, and this is no different.
Bob, after the game, on the radio, you said, and I don't know the exact quote, that we may not, if we play, I don't know if you said we play, but said something to the effect, if we play like this, we won't be able to beat Green Bay or Milwaukee. True?
Absolutely. I'm very honest with you guys. That is 100% true. If we give that effort, we will lose again. And quite frankly, I don't think we'll win a game all year if that's the way we play. And that's part of the disappointment of what happened Saturday. And the good news is that Saturday doesn't define us. Saturday, there's more than 1 league game this year. They're going to let us play 16 of them. So if we can learn from that loss and we can do better, then it's worth it, I guess. But yeah, that effort Saturday won't be good enough to beat anybody in our conference.
It'll be another game that, on paper, you're supposed to win. What about Milwaukee would, other than your effort, what about Milwaukee would make them dangerous, the record notwithstanding?
Oh, their ability to score the ball. I mean, they score the ball. They remind me a lot of Akron in their ability to score. You look at their games, even the games they've lost, they've always scored. They shoot the ball incredibly well. They shoot the ball incredibly often. And that's something, as you prepare, that makes you nervous, because that's a big, big X factor, the ability to make shots. That's something that we kind of hung on to the last couple of years because we couldn't play any defense. But, that's something that anybody who can make shots as well as they can make shots, that'll scare you right away. The number of shooters that they're going to put on the floor, the spacing that they keep, that's something that we've got to get better defensively to guard, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on our defense.
Well, in a game like that where you're up double digits, can you kind of sense, not your but the team's losing it as things progress? Do you sense that?
I think we did it the last 3 games we played. I thought we got off to a great start against Bucknell, VCU, and Valpo. And all 3 games, there was a little bit of a letdown, a little bit of a lull. I thought we lost some of our intensity. And, I thought after the Bucknell game, we talked about, in the post game, about us being more competitive consistently. And again, those are things that, as a coach, I got to figure out a way to do better. We've got to get over that. You know, I thought our starts the last 3 games have been fantastic, you know, which is good, because before that we were talking every post game about how slow a start we were having. So we seemed to get one thing figured out, and then we weren't able to continue with that sort of intensity and tenacity. You know, so it's part of the learning process. You know, as we talked about before, this process of trying to learn how to win and try to be good isn't always pleasant, and that certainly was unpleasant, but it's something that we've got to learn and figure out how to deal with.
Last week at this time, I think there was a sense that people were really excited about YSU's men's and women's basketball program. Did the air go out of the balloon maybe a little bit last week? I know you can't worry about fans every minute, but
I mean, I think last week was disappointing, that's for sure. I mean, you know, you think you got, I know the men weren't thrilled with their effort, and we certainly weren't thrilled with our effort, but, you know, the nature of our business is that was one game, and now we've got to play 2 more this week, and as I mentioned, several more after that. So, you know, I think you'll see how mature our teams are over the next week, and see how we handle it, and see how we bounce back, and see if when we get ourselves in this situation again, if we handle it a little bit better.